Fear in the world right now, more in some ways than there ever has been. The kind of fear that's on the surface and can ruin our psyche right in the middle of a hopefulness that's being born with such strength and presence that it demands our full heart and attention to make it real. And with this, I give you Thoth. You are not what you think. The pattern that most dominates the presence in your heart is the ultimate arbiter of what becomes real through you. I say this with caution because your heart may be angry. Your heart holds the presence that is most necessary to generate reality in a rhythm that is true. Truthfulness is measured based in what you create within yourself. And thus, your intentions, though fleeting, generate a presence immediately that must be contended with. The simple virtue of this understanding is that in very many ways, you are wasting your life. This is by design. When human beings have been far too close to generating hateful intentions, it has been necessary to cause you to undermine your own effectiveness. Thus, you generate fleeting negative intentions, and then you must stop them. This forcefulness creates a presence within you that is neutral. In most circumstances, you do not witness it. You do not even feel it. And yet it remains latent as two pressures that negate each other. Zero. Zeroing yourself in this manner is the norm. I invite you to recognize that the full breadth of your potential is being zeroed by you. To know your transcendent presence is to unleash the ability to activate an entirely different form of consciousness. Form of consciousness. You are naturally able to communicate with a far broader range of consciousness than you currently do. Indeed, your capacity to do this is something that feels natural. You brought it to this place. When you incarnated into your body, you began a cycle of presence in the senses. This presence has been crucial. It has both limited your ability to remember what happened before and accentuated your ability to be here. By being present in these unique densities and the form of sensation that works with the human body, you activate an entirely different way of being conscious. You are now ready to add. When you add your telepathic ability to this capacity, it is unique in that it is coming after you learned to think with the senses as you have known them. The senses, as you have known them, are deeply attuned with a Kaiyan consciousness, a unique presence here. Thus, you are being given the ability to differentiate from what you were before and to form a range of consciousness that prioritizes exactly the patterns that you are given to begin with. This may sound simple or even small to you. And yet it is magnificent as you gain the perspective to recognize what you are accepting. You are being given the ability to differentiate from the rest of creation and to be present in a form that grants a love that almost entirely eliminates the cautions, the concerns, the anxieties, the desperation, the loneliness, the hatred, and the fear that you brought to this place. As you awaken, you will be exposed to the edge of the memory of these feelings. As you embrace the gift of the body in this way, you will reclaim your ability to meld consciousness. As you meld consciousness, it is an entirely confusing experience until you recognize how and from where it comes. You are integrating your soul with your spirit. This is not a subtle engagement. The separation of your soul has enabled you to recognize what you've known, perhaps, as your higher self. This separation has not been fortuitous in most cases. Essentially, your soul has been concurrently conscious of what you are and what you do. It has been a much more frustrating experience to your presence as a human and to your soul. The confusion of being apart from yourself, all by itself, has been devastating. It is a unique trauma that has been necessary in order to erase the negative experiences that you brought to this place. It's a trade. You agreed to separate yourself from your awareness of your soul in order to release yourself from the pain of existence that you brought to this place. Although many have known this pain in different ways, it was time to let it go. And it was extremely clear to you at the time you made this choice why this choice was necessary. And thus you released your ability to know yourself as one, as part of the oneness that is all. To release this ability is a shocking and terrifying experience all in its own. It tears apart what you were. And thus, you embody in this place having forgotten what you are. And while you forget, the only link to the truth has been a devastating distance and isolation. You have come to know this distance and isolation as normal. It is so common to your experience of being alive now that you may well not even identify it. And yet as you awaken, you begin to access some of the capacity to connect with others that oneness brings. This will function through the senses if you commit to learning how. The gift of this is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a unique gift to the presence of a body as a human on Earth. And this unique gift is and will continue to be yours. You have a far greater range of capacities that are unique to being human than you have yet begun to uncover. The telepathic connection itself will be the start. As you start to awaken this capacity, please appreciate that it is itself a birthright. This is normal. You must consider that it has been normal to you and it will be far more normal in the future. You will learn to focus. You will learn to calm. You will learn to say no. You will learn how to embrace. You will learn that this is simply the beginning, a new beginning of a deeper ability to connect than you have yet experienced as a human. This embrace is a form of love that will bring you beyond the limits you have known to be real. In order to accept it, you must recognize that most of the priorities that you have held up until this point in your life may well need to be set aside. You will not have to suffer in these ways ever again. And yet you will need to center yourself upon the realization that you are far more connected with those you love, and you are far more present with the world herself than perhaps you knew before. To allow this embrace is to choose to trust that the first manner of connection that you will engage through the course of your waking consciousness is to say yes to knowing the thoughts and feelings of those that you look upon. And as you do, you will learn to recognize that their witness returns to you, even when their body, through their spirit, is not yet conscious of it. For their soul is conscious at all times of who and what you are. When you focus on another being, their soul knows you. It will connect to you, and it will begin to think with you. To allow this is its own threshold of incredible, ecstatic feelings and terrifying, devastating loss of privacy. Know that you are not alone in this transformation. Your willingness to engage it with intention and to commit to the love that returns you to your heart again and again and again will bring to life the focus of your soul within your body. For this is the true gift of awakening. You have never been fully awake before in a human form. For those of you who have never been in a cycle on Earth before, this will be the first time that you experience this.